Raindrops of Pittsburgh for the home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. First carry for James Conner. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The throw taken in by Hamilton. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. The numbers for Smith-Schuster in that game last week. 5 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on display.
Able to power through. No gain on the dump-off. It's second down. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do, and we're talking about Jason Kelsey now, not Travis, his brother who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
On the draw, Conner. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw. He'll dump this one off to Conner. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down now, it's Fisher. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second and 5 now. Jackson flush to his right. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Here's second and 10 now from about the 32. And he'll give it here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On second and 9, Jackson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Jackson from the shotgun. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second and goal, Jackson being chased out left. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on third and goal? They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens have taken the lead. And oh, it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. A run with counter on first down. Going to get about 5. 2nd and 5 coming up. Marcus Peters up to make the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. The quick throw complete to Washington. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
It's complete. Swings it out to his running back.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll look to run with Connor, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Watch the slack. Watch the slack. Ready?
They'll drop the throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Jackson now. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Throwing is Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now it's Connor. He'll have a first down past the 40. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Open man here is Hamilton. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Yeah.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Fisher. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And all the way down to the 26. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Hey, you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. It's Jackson going for it all. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. This will be caught by Brown.
You gotta be ready. Don't be scared.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll run on first down. Fisher. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens have once again taken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43.
Let's go, baby. Pick 6.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Marquise Brown, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. Now Tucker to add the PAT.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
And his kick is right through. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Right back to Connor here on first. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now this throw complete to Washington, and he's taken down inside the 30. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. They'll look to throw. This is caught, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Washington with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each ending in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack, or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings, the things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Jackson. He's got Fuller. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Jackson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. Look at the big man rumble. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the 2nd half. They give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down 24-20, 2:10 on the clock. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Jackson, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Mullins. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. And he finds Daniels. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check 37. Check 37. You go tight.
Throwing now is Jackson. He'll buy some time right. He'll try and run it. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Back to throw. Buying time to his left, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Back to throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he rifles one incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. He'll run it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. He's back to throw. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
Check 55, Mike.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
They'll look to throw. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Tucker with the extra point. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one. Whether you're able to get into field goal range, or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. A big play there on the catch and run. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
We got 4. We got 4.
On the run is Connor. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And with 4 seconds remaining, they will call the timeout. So just enough of a cushion there to bring on the field goal unit and try to send this one to the extra session. And his kick is indeed good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. And we have free football. Overtime. Here we go, my friend. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it, because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses, because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. They'll keep it on the ground. Fisher. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. Now it's Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Fisher. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 35.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Fisher.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first. On first down, it's Mullins. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but